Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, this is a show my people. Billies our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen like God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. You can tune in from work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time? Call in, it's a show. It no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, this is a show my people. Billies our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen like God blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB.
Good morning, Billies. Welcome to the WUB Wake Up Billies Morning Vibes. It's Wednesday morning, the 27th of November, 2024. I am Mose, Hyde, and a warm welcome to you. You're listening to Creme Radio, you're watching XTV, or you're getting us via our apps or social media streams, because we're everywhere. And of course, for a long time, we've been simulcast across the country. So if you're getting us via that, a warm welcome to you. We hope that you have great health to start your day. Energies, through the ceiling. Of course, your vibration is positive. We know mornings tend to be busy. if you're at home or you're moving, commuting, we know how it works. But we still hope that you got enough space, flexibility that you can spend quality time with us. You could listen, you could watch, you could, more importantly, jump in and talk your mind. Hope so. But you know what? Right now, before we get to all of that talking, you know how we do it. We've got to start off with what we dub as the warm-ups. Come out of the blocks, kind of, you know, slow trot. We've got your morning news, you know that. So you got all the stories that are making headlines to start the day. As well as we got the latest weather forecast, which you need. Some people more than others, of course, because if you're a fisherman, well, the weather always, you know, that they're your companion. You have to know how things going to stand out there. But for some people, we got to judge how they're going to dress and all of that. The weather plays a part in all of that. Important info. So for the latest forecast information, we got from the National Meteorological Service, forecaster Crystal Rosales, and that's where we're going to start this morning.
Good morning. Generally fair weather prevails over the country. The 24-hour forecast. Skies will be sunny with some cloudy spells today and then partly cloudy tonight. Showers will be isolated with a chance for a few more developing along the coast tonight. High temperatures for today will reach around 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 85 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 72 degrees Fahrenheit in the mountains. Low temperatures for tonight will reach around 75 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 68 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 63 degrees Fahrenheit in the hills. Winds over the open sea will be from the northeast at 5 to 15 knots, and then sea conditions will be moderate. High tides occur at 7:53 this morning and then at 7:19 tonight. Low tides at 1:29 this afternoon and then at 2:36 tomorrow morning. The moon will set at 2:49 this afternoon and rise at 3:48 tomorrow morning, and then sunrise was at 6:04 this morning and sunset will be at 5:16 this evening. The extended forecast for Thursday and Thursday night is for generally fair conditions with only isolated showers developing, if any. And the sargassum update. Impacts, if any, from sargassum will continue to be minimal as observations show little to no sargassum over our area. And then in the tropics, tropical cyclone formation is not expected over the North Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, or the Caribbean Sea during the next 48 hours. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. Crime presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Making news this morning, the New World screwworm has reached Mexico. However, their authorities are reporting that they have things under control. According to a release from the Ministry of Agriculture dated Sunday, November 24th, an infected head of cattle was discovered among a shipment at a checkpoint in Catazaja, Chiapas. The shipment originated outside of Mexico. No other infected animal has been detected elsewhere in Mexico, and their authorities have lauded the efficacy of their control and prevention measures in preventing the spread of the screwworm. Mexico, like countries in Central America, has been taking precautions against the screwworm after the Maiasis disease caused by the infestation of the NWS fly larva in open wounds or mucus of mammals was detected in Panama and Costa Rica in February this year. From there, it moved to Honduras, and just this month, an infestation was detected in Izabal in Guatemala. Mexico had eradicated the screwworm over 30 years ago in 1991, along with the rest of the region. According to its Ministry of Agriculture, it had invested $750 million towards that effort. Mexican authorities also notified that as a precautionary measure, the United States Department of Agriculture has temporarily paused the importation of cattle originating in Mexico. Agriculture CEO Sergio Loaiza told Creme News XTV how concerning the development is.
We have a very good control of it in terms of the legal trade. The problem that most countries have been having is with the illegal trade. I mean, the measures that they have taken and the effects of that particular case is certainly worrisome, because now the USA has closed their borders to trade with Mexico in terms of cattle. So they can't sell any more cattle into Mexico on the hoof. We sell our cattle, or we have two ways of how our cattle really is exported. We have a legal trade, official trade with Mexico, which goes through our northern border, which is very regulated. We go through the quarantine process, we follow all the protocols and so on. And then there's the informal trade that goes through Guatemala, or the trade that we have with Guatemala. Most of that cattle, we are told, or in terms of kind of what we know, is that most of that cattle eventually goes through Guatemala but ends up in Mexico. Eventually, as is the case with Nicaragua. A lot of the cattle from Nicaragua comes through Honduras, goes through Guatemala, and then ends up in Mexico. So we see how the movement of the cattle or livestock happens through us ending up into Mexico. Now, for us, in terms of our trade with Mexico, we have one buyer, which is Sucarne, and they buy from us and they fatten and process. So our cattle doesn't go on the hoof to USA or to any other part. It goes to Sucarne, to their plant, they get fattened, and then they get slaughtered. Now, we don't really know how much of our cattle is consumed locally in Mexico, how much is exported to the US, how much is exported. So, there are many ifs, if I can put it this way, that we don't really know what will be the direct effect to us. What would really hurt us would be if there was one case of screwworm in Belize, we know that immediately Mexico would close their borders to us.
Another great concern is if Guatemala's demand for cattle from Belize starts slowing down. It is estimated that 85% of our cattle exports go to Guatemala and 15% go to Mexico. In total, Belize is currently exporting between 35,000 and 45,000 heads of cattle.
Another concern of us is that if Guatemala would stop buying from us, for instance, because now that the border between Guatemala and Mexico is closed, and they can't move their cattle into Mexico, demand goes down for the cattle because they can't cross it. Then that trickles down to us, and they don't buy from us. Then what would happen then to the excess cattle that we have? If there's no demand, eventually what would happen probably would be that the price that our farmers are getting right now would decrease. We would have an oversupply of cattle, basically. And when that happens, the effect would be that the price would go down. So up to this point, our cattle is still going out, it's still being exported. We don't have any case of screwworm in Belize, and so we're still okay.
For the time being, Belize remains free of the screwworm, but it keeps getting closer.
We're well aware that Guatemala is having a lot of difficulties. And they have even admitted that they don't have the resources, they don't have the personnel to actively do the surveillance and take all the measures necessary to try to have any control right now in terms of the screwworm. So that is very, very concerning for us. And in fact, just yesterday in our last meeting, because even though they are saying that up to this point, up to the latest official bulletin from Orissa show that they had 13 confirmed cases, everybody believes that there's much more. Just that it is not being reported, just that they are not catching it, and so forth. There is right now one report that has not been confirmed, so it's unofficial, that it's already in the Petén area. And that will be right close to us, basically, right next door. So it's very essential for us to not only ensure that we have the measures in place to try to prevent the entry of the screwworm into Belize, but for us also to work closely with the Guatemalan authorities from Petén. We share a very amicable relationship with the Ministry of Agriculture in Guatemala in the Petén area. The Petén area is the only area that has a vice minister. And he has already been here in Belize. He has visited with us. We have been there to Flores, and we have met with them also. So we have a very cordial relationship with them. I will tell you that we're friends. We have people that have been working in the ministry over there for years, and they know us, we know them. So what I have asked my team to do right now is to contact them and to see how we can assist or how we can collaborate better in terms of the of our border area, especially in the Petén with us. No? So in fact, we should have very soon, we should be having a meeting with them to see how we can collaborate with them more to ensure that we keep this pest out of Belize.
Belize continues to implement prevention measures, including sanitizing trucks returning from Guatemala. Finally, on this topic, Belize could use more funding for its own prevention measures of the screwworm.
Resources is always a challenge, Marisol. As it is right now, really, I think Baja is really stretched out very thin. And so we asked, just a couple of weeks ago, we had even asked the government for a supplementary, and which was approved. And so we got an additional $1 million to apply to this emergency. It is not enough. I will tell you right off, it's not enough. But we are doing everything we can with the funds with the resources that are being provided. USDA is also providing funding through ORISA, and so we're getting some funding through them. But because we are the farthest point away from where the infestation started, because we're the smallest country, well, obviously we don't get as much as the other countries. But we are hoping that those resources will increase, because right now, though, I think the U.S. is even more concerned right now, as now even Mexico already has the screwworm now.
Floodwaters from Tropical Storm Sarah that made landfall in Belize on Sunday, November 17, continue coming down our waterways and are inundating the Belize River Valley area and Crooked Tree. This is preventing the assessment of damages of agricultural crops. We hear again from Civil Advisor CEO in the Ministry of Agriculture.
Unfortunately, like for instance, for this year, we had plans through BMDC to do some trial exports of potatoes and onions to Salvador. But unfortunately, both Nadine and Sarah have really wreaked havoc on our farmers right now. And in fact, we're still assessing how our production will be for this coming year. No?
So by when do you have an estimate right now of damages due to Sarah so far, like a preliminary?
It's very, very preliminary right now, Marisol. I don't even have a figure right off. Again, because a lot of the areas are still inaccessible, no? Because of the flooding. The flooding, our damages are mainly in the Cayo and Belize district, and it's hard right now to determine that because some areas are inaccessible. You can't even go in, no?
Belize is hopeful that in 2025, about 4 producers of farmed shrimp will be shipping produce to Taiwan. A team from Taiwan's FAO was recently in Belize assessing Belize's preparedness to export the product. Agriculture CEO Civil Advisor told Creme News XTV that we're about 99% through with the process to ensure we fulfill all export requirements.
In fact, we are hoping that by next year, we should be able to sell shrimp to Taiwan. We have answered all their questions. We have showed them that we are doing the surveillance that is required. Basically meeting the requirements for us to be able to sell to them. We have about 8 farms producing shrimp right now. I think about 4 of them are the ones that are employing the new technology, and the others are coming on stream slowly, no?
And in terms of volume, like where are we exporting shrimp right now to?
Basically, it's local consumption right now, and some, I believe, is going into Mexico.
As we near World AIDS Day on December 1st, we are reminded that as much as information is out there, the virus still poses a threat to our Belizean society as the infection numbers are still higher than desired. Community Engagement Officer in HIV Tuberculosis Program at the Corozal Community Hospital, Rafael Castillo, says there is hope with the younger generation who are generally more informed on the virus. However, Castillo says there are always new studies coming out. He encourages the general public to attend health fairs and ask questions on this and other health topics.
I find that young people do have more information regarding HIV. However, in ways of preventing is still kind of limited. We do have new prevention mechanisms. We now have chemical barrier to prevent HIV transmission, which is the PrEP, the pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is something new to them, and we try to promote as well. I would just like to invite the general public, to whenever we have these outreach campaigns, if you have any questions, to approach our booths, not only in Corozal. All these activities are happening countrywide. Remember that there are many forms of preventing HIV. Testing is just one of them. We have the prophylaxis, which is the treatment as prevention. And also, if somebody is living with HIV and not on treatment, coming back to seek the health services, is a way of preventing HIV. So we're at a threshold where this generation has an opportunity to end this disease, which has been with us since 1986. So I think it's high time that we, end it.
And that brings us to the end of our morning news here. We will take ourselves a small break. When we come back on the other side, we're going to open up for conversation. You're listening to Creme Radio. You're watching XTV. We'll be right back.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. The news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports.
All right, welcome back. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde in the house on this Wednesday morning. We want to invite you now to take full advantage of the opportunity to engage with us in conversation. You can access the conversation by giving us a call at 280-5848. That is a live line for you to participate in this conversation on this Wednesday morning, 27th November, 2024. I repeat, the number is 280-5848. And as we always do, we kind of make sure that you're aware that you are not obligated to speak on what I am speaking on. You can introduce your topic. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Yeah, Mark, I get on the show.
You are on the show, sir.
Okay. Oh, Mose, morning.
What you going?
Yeah, listen to me. I want to talk about the situation Duck Run.
Yeah, man.
And this situation with them people. Hello?
You're live
Yeah.
you're live on the air, my brother.
Yeah, the situation with the surveying thing and then people adamant that talk about. Then no one make nobody come and move their for their land. I blame both red and blue. Intended in a power, they facilitate these immigrants, they give them land, they give them passport, you send them to the health clinic, you can't get in at the health clinic. So this problem, I'm sorry for them, but these are how these people operate. They're very territorial. And they feel say, you depend on land which belongs to the government of Belize. And you want to talk about, you want to do what you have to do. And nobody will move you off of this.
Are
And you
they-
squat on the land.
Are they people who have been naturalized? They've received.
Yes, well, I should. I know they should. I can't believe that. I can't believe that immigrant. One
Okay.
immigrant, other immigrant. It doesn't matter. Though I think I don't believe that by sure. But these are the situations where both parties create, and then the people that so fierce and arrogant.
Yeah.
So this situation, and then Miss Marine, I'm surprised that she removed the survey pig. You know what that penalty for remove a survey pig? Man, you can't be so adamant, that can't be so fierce, man. These are then another situation. You remember the guys for Hamadeville, Nigeria, African crowd, when they want to eat the buffer, you see the price that they bring up for everybody. But they don't bring the kind of pressure then from the Hispanic people then. The thing I don't understand, the thing double standard. When I see the thing and the thing I make I get upset. And me, they shall make I do the clearing in there. You know what I mean? Clearing it. Because it's a clear to this papa. You can't go squat par land when it belongs to you. Because you don't hold it. If you did it 10 years, it don't matter. You don't hold the land. You squat. You're not supposed to squat.
Yeah. It's it's a issue obviously with the people come here and they have a different mindset, and I guess most of these folks would be migrants coming out of Guatemala. I
think they want to pass Salvador. This is a program of Salvador.
from Salvador.
Yeah. Then when I go territorial, they know vicious.
All right. So they come out and they have a sense of community, and they are not, they not come out on a culture where it kind of take things, and so they are being defiant. I agree with you that the system has the responsibility to be consistent, and we would hope that if we are talking about being, discretionary and, the way the system is being right now, and as you mentioned what happened in Harmonyville, they were threatened with court action and to say, listen, I get locked up if do otherwise where we give you permission for do. There are other ways for you to pursue your rights, because I imagine there are certain rights if you have been on a piece of land for a long time and nobody has challenged your sitting on that land. There are rights that come to you. It doesn't matter that you were naturalized. you now have citizenship and you have rights, and the way that you pursue those rights, the way that we are told you pursue those rights is you have to go through the court. That's what you do. You don't physically start to, confront or reach that point. That's what that's when you make if you do have a right, that's when you make your right a wrong. That's how the system has kind of, that's how we've been set up. We've been said, listen, if you've got a problem, you have to go to court to try to get that resolved. But in the meantime, we do as we have the right to do as an authority. You mix in the whole thing with being migrants and all of that, then it creates, as you are experiencing right now, a bit of emotional feel. You get emotional about it because you know that, well, we don't always see this kind of leniency when it is people push back on this type of thing. So I hear you loud and clear, bro.
Yeah, okay. Fair Chrome land, with a lease land, you need to depend on 30 years if you want to any case.
30 years?
Yes, fair lease land, once our government land, you have to depend on land 30 years if you want to put in any claim, and they don't 30 years. Then fair private land, if you own a private land and I own a private land, and somebody could squat on it and build on it after 6-7 years, I not tell you nothing. You need to come out of my property. You could go claim that because that's a private land. But when they go to Crown land, that 30 years you need. So they don't got no 30 years. So I don't want you to no court. They rule up, use the force and move there. Just like when you move the guys there from Harmonville. And you adamant that you make them know you do this. Remember that the buffer that the one plant can. You know, and the buffer today, you know that low Hispanic own the buffer today. No, you know that. Get title for it, or get lease for it, but no Hispanic own the buffer, where they guys may try to start on the buffer. So I don't want a double standard, and I can't stand these people when they come and want force and strong thing like that, but they adamant and they want to do what they have to do. I like they trick this state proper.
But as you've rightfully pointed out that to a great extent, they have been facilitated because of political expediency by the political parties. So, they came and now they have a sense that, we cut the deal, and part of the deal is that we get for no flex and do what we want, right? So there's a lot of blame that is at the feet of the political masters, no?
All right. Yeah.
Yes, man. Respect. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Telephone line is 280-5848 for you to jump in and express your thoughts and views. That's just the way it works right here. We have been getting multiple reports from most news outlets, news platforms about the challenges of the post-Sarah flooding. But we have a call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Brother Mose, good morning, concerning land.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, concerning land. Man, that should have appeared in the Constitution with good wording, spelling, that as you turn 18, you, and prayer to those of 1981, that as you turn 18 in Jayatidia, you must, by law, get a parcel of land of your choice. If it is for farming, it is a house and lot, a house and lot. It's too late, but like you have a vehicle like they have in Cuba, struggling to find parts for repair their vehicles because they're not from the 50s. You see, this ever happened to poorly Belize. We were not about Belize, but we were about me and follow me, and if you follow me, trust me, you will be provided with me. That ever happened to Belize from the early stage. It won't too late, my friend. We have to stay the bite the tongue. But I stay away from promises. Paddle their own canoe. Take care, Abraham.
All right, Brother Torres. Just wanted to say, I was in Boom on Sunday, and I know that I saw somewhere Doug Thompson, but Doug Thompson was on the news from Black Orchid talking about the flooding. We've seen experiences in Crooked Tree. We've had coverage from Rancho Dolores. We know that more tomorrow, a number of these villages along the Belize River coming out of Cayo. We know that in Cayo itself, San Ignacio, Santa Elena, significant flooding post-Hurricane Sarah, Tropical Storm Sarah. And I remember the first time I actually saw the flooding, Belize City, you rain, you get water, right? So we know about that, but you don't know flooding till you go and you see the flooding that they call Top Gallant, when that the river, they overflow. And these villagers, they've been there in most instances for generations. They know it. I think in one of the interviews that Brother Doug did, he mentioned that this is his third since he's had the hotel and restaurant there in Burl Boom. And I was there on Sunday, he was saying, listen, we know where to do. They were there already putting all the furniture and all the appliances, elevating it. They were making their preparations, and the water was already inundating them from the rear and in the front. And he said, he showed we kind of get a sense of where it's going. So there is a familiarity, but it doesn't mean that it's not challenging. We have their friends in Rancho Dolores, and they know the water to come. They react, and we know you come, we know after a while the water going, but there are consequences. There's no significant flooding like this without a significant cost. Think about the hardships for people in Crooked Tree because of the situation where they were, as we are always told, this iconic place. It's an inland island, and they enjoy and celebrate that, but then that also means that when there is water, they are completely surrounded by water that's rising. And that's the experience now, and they have to deal with this. And, we sit here, most of us outsider, we would have called direct harm's way, but unless you've actually said, the first time I saw it was, I think sometime in the late 1998, 99, there was a significant flood event, and myself and I remember Ann Wade was here. We went in a boat up the river to do some documenting and for news. And so we went up and we made it all the way, I think, we made it all the way to Maypen, if my memory serves me correct. And going up along the river and meeting people who might not necessarily be in a village, but, I remember meeting an elderly gentleman who was in his mid-70s going on towards his 80s, and the man looked like he was built from granite. And the entire little area, the chickens were like on the almost like on the ceiling of the house, it seemed at that time. It's a significant flooding event. And these people who live on the river, they accept that this is a part. People who have the cattle, who have to try to move the cattle, because again, significant problem, they will lose. People who have planted their crops, you brother and sister, you know what it is for you put in a work for plant your crops. I don't know where you ever plant before, but imagine plant your backyard, that work. Imagine you try plant all your whole plantation. You take care of that. 1 acre and a half, 2 acres, you work that, and you got your livestock and you got your chicken, and then you hear water they come. This is how you live, This is your food, this is your income, this is your survival right here. And water they come, you can't do nothing about that. And there are times when, they have had to, you just lose your people, lose their cattle, lose their animals. That's just a part of it, right? This huge impact a huge impact on many Belizeans when you hear the flood come. And remember now, Sarah that was one little piece of, never did get out of, never did come out of childhood. Sarah never did become no monster. Sarah just had water. And Sarah just made it procrastinate and linger and not want to be about her business and just water. We end up with this flood event. Okay, we got a flood event and we didn't move about people to go about their business as usual. But if you are in the harm's way right now, your reality has been turned upside down. And you have to just wait till the water go down. I think here from I was speaking to Brother Thompson on Sunday, and he said, well, as I think he mentioned in the news, I think he was mentioning to me, I think we're lose about $80,000 right here. You're not a business person, and right now that when the tourism season just about forget now cranked. Thanksgiving that when the tourism season crank. That when the bookings start. So for make right when the bookings start, that when water full up in your place, it's disruptive, problematic. Krem, good morning, WB.
Good morning, Mose. This is Sandra Clay again. The flood, would you say that while it is traditional and it's a constant in our lives, that it's worse now because of the global climate situation?
Well, this particular one, again, from what I was hearing, is that it's not as high as what they have experienced before. But what I was going to say is that if these floods, the frequency of the increase in numbers, if they become more regular, like every 6 or 7 or 8 years or so, these folks experience it. But imagine if that just reduce.
The total of their financial destruction will be massive, right?
Massive. That's where I was going with my conversation this morning.
I would want Mose to, on the same climate matter, to go now to the Middle East. From two aspects. One, yesterday, simultaneous translation, while the Israeli Prime Minister was speaking, he described the war as a holy war. Now, this concept, when I've tried to say to some Belizeans, listen, what is happening in the Middle East, to understand that, you have to go back to the European world of the medieval ages and of the age right after the entry of the barbarian tribes into Europe, and then subsequently the emergence of Islam and what that would entail, the confrontation between these two belief systems as the Germanic Gothic tribes took on Christianity and became devout Christians, and the conflict that would, the convergence of that and Islam. Now he's describing a holy war. That's the term that has been used for the Crusades. That's the concept behind the Crusades, that they were going to go and wage holy war on these non-believers.
Infidels.
On these infidels, yes. Now it's not that the infidels did not also see them, who were not Muslims, as also a threat. So it was two-way, but while Islam attempted to enter Europe and succeeded in establishing itself in southern Spain and would seek to march on into France and be stopped by in their advance, and so they never took over France. They never advanced north beyond France into Germany and north into northeastern Europe. So that's something that, as this is what we are being told we have to believe. Because when you tell me that this is a holy war, then you are telling me that God ratified, gave you permission, and any word that goes with that, to carry out the slaughter of over 40,000 people. Is that right or wrong, Mose?
Yeah, that's what they mean when they say a holy war. That is,
When they say a holy war.
yeah, sanctioned from above. Huh?
So was the response to Hitler, who proceeded to occupy Europe, is never explained in its totality. What led to Hitler? What led to the Second World War?
World War
Because
One.
there was a First Great War, the First World War, and there were circumstances that led to that war. And it is out of that war that would come the Second War. But we are never told these things. And if you don't know European history, you don't know the truth behind the fact that the story that's given to you, the story that's given to you. So that's my first point. So we have the utter destruction, not only of the Palestinian land, you've gone into Lebanon. You are attacking Syria. So the whole Middle East is caught up in this as you expand your territory. Because this is territorial expansion. Let's get that straight. And we are being told now that this was done in the name of God. God gave us told us to go and do it. God has ratified it. Now this is the Abrahamic God, the same God, the Abrahamic faith of Islam, Judaism, Christianity, and the Bible. You're telling all of us we are supposed to accept that? That's number one. Now, number two, Mose. Here we have, they are supposed to be on the brink of a peace arrangement. To get to this peace that you can manage requires the utter destruction of two population centers. Because Lebanon is not totally destroyed. You can definitely say 25 to 33% of it is totally destroyed. And this destruction mode carries a climate price. Imagine you are now going to have to go and get cement, steel, which carry a carbon imprint, all over again, to rebuild what was properly built, what already had created its carbon imprint. You are now going to double the carbon imprint with the new construction that you are going to put up. All the heat that was generated to build a society that had to go up into the sky because it didn't have enough land on the horizontal. So it did not have enough land because Gaza is a strip of land. From Belize up to Biscayne thereabouts, and almost the same with that's what Gaza is. But so to make space, they went upward and built buildings. And now you brought them all down, and all the heat that was generated in creating those buildings, you are now going to regenerate to create a new set of buildings. That's the first climatic attack. The second climatic attack is the level of heat that 2,000 plus bombs have generated in that area of the world. You think it's not spreading and affecting all of us? All the bombs, the 2,000 everybody in Palestine, but there were Christians, Greek Orthodox Jews, Greek Orthodox Palestinians, all of that. And they're there because of the first action of Great Britain under the mandate. Tell the world the truth. Don't come telling us these lies and we have to go willy-nilly around that because countries like mine, like Belize, like ours, we don't ask any question when the master says anything. We just say, yes, master, and whatever they tell us to believe. But this is what is creating the problem, Mose. All the heat generated in that war, all the heat being generated in Sudan, all the heat being generated in Haiti, Haiti don't reach yet what Palestine reached, was it going to reach there? The U.S. is releasing landmines for the Ukrainians use against the Russians and are claiming that their landmines are benign. Most have you heard of any benign landmines?
So what's the purpose of giving it to them then if they're benign?
Exactly.
It's like do you give people rubber bullets in war? It's just, that's not the way it works.
Exactly. This is creating heat.
I found the decision by an outgoing president to be just a, diabolical decision in my view, to authorize the Ukrainians to strike within Russian territory with the missiles. I can't think of any other word to describe it, because it would seem like to me that it's kind of it's a very personal, vindictive move that will only just cause thousands more to die and suffer. Like, it's just ultimate.
And more destruction, more.
It's just crazy to me, the decision made by the outgoing president.
Look at the heat needed to convert bauxite into cement, Mose.
And then the decision, and I must give credit. There were maybe 16 senators, Democratic senators, I believe, who
led by Bernie Sanders. That's what you're talking about.
Yes, led by Senator Sanders, who went against their president on permitting more weapons to be given to Israel. If I recognize something that is diabolical, I have to recognize when people act with courage, and I give them that respect for sure.
Yes, so this is, when we are discussing the climate, we have to work on two fronts. We have to work within Belize to come up with our solution, but we must, part of our activity in our contribution to this mess has to be standing up out there in that outer world and calling a spade a spade. You don't want to be part of the solution. Well, you better understand why you're part of the problem. You better understand that. It's very alarming when you hear these kinds of statements, and then our people, Belizeans, don't know European history at all. My generation knew more. This generation knows zero. But it is that history that all of this mess, we have to stop fighting Europe's war, Rudy, what's your name, Mose. We have to stop this. We are caught up in the holy war now. And the problem, Mose, is that there was a point in European history where they began to blame the Muslims for the death of Jesus Christ, something that evidently had nothing to do with each other, because Islam did not emerge until the 7th century, 610 AD, thereabout, and Jesus Christ died from just prior to AD. Do you understand? No, AD 33 or whatever. No relationship. So that is where we've gone now. So this is my argument. This crisis technology, use our children, use our high schools, our children to plant our literal for our high forest, our great trees. Let us do these things. These are really good. They are not going to be the first solution, though. But Almighty God always steps in when you begin the process. That's my experience. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you, Ms. Corey. We go to our break here, 2 Cents Calm, sponsored by Fort Point Security. Then we take our first commercial break of the day, and then we come back on the other side with more conversation. This is WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes.
You're watching WB and this is XTV, and word on the street that ham get expensive, all right? I don't know if it's true or not, but we could go on the street and find out the people in 2 cents about ham. Christmas to come up, everybody want a ham.
I never know the price of ham.
So you straight for the Christmas, you want to get a ham?
I want to get a ham.
That's your 2 cents?
Yes, sir.
What do you think about the price of ham right now?
Gone sky high.
So they eat ham for this Christmas?
I mean, that tradition, you have to do it still.
That's your 2 cents?
Yeah.
All right.
You know where the price?
So you want to get ham this Christmas?
I got ham already.
That's your 2 cents?
I got ham already.
Oh, you done ham up?
Me got my ham long time.
Right, you're big.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Wednesday, the 27th of November, 2024. And we are open for the business of conversation. Telephone number 280-5848. That's the live line. And feel free to jump in and tell us what you are thinking and what is on your mind. Before we went to break, I think we had a significant input from Ms. Corey, and I was kind of just describing, the River Valley reality when it comes to these significant flooding events, which happen, like maybe every 7-8 years or so, they get one of these, and they just have to deal with it. It's very disruptive, but I guess if you've, I have an good morning, WB.
I'm just calling, and Mose is under there, I'm just calling to make a correction. A little bit on this building, this destruction of buildings and then rebuilding. Cement is manufactured at boxes. Bauxite is they're all part of the same rock structure. Limestone rock structure, and then from bauxite to get aluminium. Now, to get cement molds, you have to demolish mountains of limestone, clay, they mix in sand, heating at high temperatures. Then, when that is hardened, they then grind it another heating process mode. So now you have demolished part of the planet to create this cement, which will, when you mix it with water, will create the concrete to make the building. You are practicing erosion right there, right or wrong. We are demolishing mountains, limestone here, there, and everywhere. Cement is one of the most widely used commodities in the world after water. So you actually now have demolished buildings, 8 stories, 10 stories, and in Lebanon, more stories. Demolish these buildings and you're now going to have to rebuild again and use more heat to recreate the same cement to make the concrete. That's only the cement mold. What about the glass? What about the steel? What about the aluminium? What about the tile? My God, when you think of it, it is just incredible that an animal endowed with the intelligence they are endowed would become even stupid and diabolical in creating the horror story we are all living through. You don't agree? Don't you agree?
It's such a horror story, Ms. Corey, that it's so, like, to read the news on a regular basis about what is going on there, and just to see and just to realize that nothing is going to be done, this is being allowed. I know that I give respect to the fact that at the very least they have issued an arrest warrant for Mr. Netanyahu.
Well, for that to come to effect, the whole world will have to march on that.
Well, at least
nothing will come of it.
at least 8 countries, I believe, have said that they would carry out such an arrest if he were to land there, which is, I guess, when you go to think about it, is a lot, because most countries won't. But at least that exists. But for me, it's such a horrific chapter of human history that we are living through.
And the destruction mode.
I saw.
There's a price that, but though the price is another price.
I saw.
The price and the price, you have to understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I read when I really I had to unplug, and I have unplugged for a little while now. I read a story about the child who was killed by the aid that fell from the sky. So because they have made it so difficult for aid, humanitarian aid, to come through into Gaza, countries, in fact, this was a U.S. Plane, was dropping the aid, and the child ran out because the child was so hungry, and it fell on him and killed him. Child was about 7 or 8 years old, and the sheer horror of that, it just overwhelmed me, and I realized I can't, because it's every day there is something. Like I was reading something today that doing the autopsy on somebody, they found part of the bomb, something that I'm going back and get the actual name right, but whatever case, this thing is like an amplifier. It's like they put in a specific compound to make the bomb even more destructive.
Yes.
And I'm like,
white phosphorus. White phosphorus is prohibited in war.
I'm like these people are demonic. Like you.
The level of heat white phosphorus produces burns it produces on the human body.
And you realize, well, for me, the take-home message after all the reading, after all the seeing and understanding what is unfolding there, is to understand that we live on an extremely savage planet, and you don't have any margin of error because the savage have the power, and if you think that anybody come and help you and save you, you lost your mind.
Nobody will come, Mose. You have to be prepared to sit down and be methodical, be precise in figuring out your survival. And we are the species. You see, until we accept our evolution, until we accept where we have come from, we will not understand what we're dealing with now. We are risen apes with a weapon in our hand. Those who don't want to believe, go to the caves in South Africa. You're going to find the bone between the knee and the ankle among the other bones that were used as our first weapon. We didn't have tools. Everything that we have in 2024, we have acquired it step by step.
Is it a affliction of the primates that we are violence prone? Like I've watched some shows on the chimpanzee wars. The chimpanzee.
We are under Dr. Jane Goodall.
No, these are separate. This is like a coverage of chimpanzee wars. Like certain groups of chimpanzees have generational conflicts against other troops of chimpanzees, and when they war, they one of their favorite tactics is to see if they can essentially grab the testicles of the opponents and rip it out. The level of brutality in these wars, like you can go and I've watched it on Discovery, and I watched it on YouTube as well. So you actually have some document. It's horrific stuff, and then you know that the chimpanzee is a very intelligent animal, right? It's like it has about 98% of DNA of a Homo sapien. It's like these are intelligent things, but they are violence. So
But you see what happened, Mose, is that there is one also many years ago, not in Asia in a garden, but in an African savannah with a weapon in his hand, man came about slowly ever so slowly. And that is true. That is absolutely correct. And why Africa? Because the more you study Africa, you realize that all the metals, we are made of the earth. We carry so many of the metals, the different minerals of the earth. Iron, it, and so and we didn't have claws, and we didn't have fans. Originally, some of the apes had large and huge decisions, but they were confronting each other and bigger animals than themselves. So they didn't have, and so that weapon, the ability to use the tool, became, the weapon is a tool, but it's a specific kind of tool. And look where we have come to now. You see, it's where we have come to now. And for society like Belize, all societies on the earth, but you have to deal with the one you live in. We have to become, I have always said, that man has been Homo sapiens, not Homo sapiens. He is named Homo sapiens, the knowing man. We don't know. We have been a feeling being. This is my opinion. But the brain we're using, this brain is an ancient brain. It hasn't evolved much. It's an old brain. It carries a section of that brain for extreme, almost lunatic anger. All of that is in our brain. And it is the same ancient brain that is building AI and all of that. You see? But while we can advance the technology, we are not advancing the ideology nor the social order. And in my opinion, it is because the biological structure you're doing it with has not, we have to learn advanced behavior. Advanced behavior doesn't come to us as part of our genetic development. Some people are born calmer, they are less angry, that sort of thing. But those are minor. You want those across the board. And our evolution has everything to do with it.
Yep.
And because, of course, we are religion bound, we don't want to hear anything about evolution. Nothing. We for the Christian world, we emerged in a garden, and we were perfect, and then we became imperfect, and everybody has their myth of origin. Those are myths of origin. We need to understand the scientific facts to understand why we do the things we do. Look at Israel. These are the children of the people who went through the Holocaust. Aren't they the perfect example of what happens to the abused? That the abused, the danger is that the abused can become the abuser. And when that abused becomes the abuser, he becomes monstrous in his abusing. You see? These are the things we need to understand so that in our own society, where those patterns exist, we work at eradicating them. You can't approach the world to create a new world order if your world order is as messed up as the world out there, right or wrong, huh?
Well, you don't have the moral currency to, yeah. I got to go to break, Miss Corey. I have to go. Thank you very much. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Grim stuff. We'll take a break and then come back. Wednesday morning edition of Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Wednesday edition of the show. Mose Hyde hosting today. And our telephone line is 280-5848. We've got a special link via Zoom. Maybe your first time getting a link with on Zoom live protesting. Sister Yaya, are you there? Greetings.
I'm there, but no, I don't know why I can't see you.
Well, I can't see you, so I don't know what's up with that.
I don't know what happened. Women, I'm good just now.
I don't know.
I don't know, Mose.
You on this technology thing, no?
I tell you, but women, I'm good just now. They
have you checked your phone?
Check
your phone to see if you have maybe inadvertently put your camera on off.
You know this technology thing that not my thing. I don't know why my video
is her video on mute. Alexi, can you see it? Huh? It's dark.
It's on driving mode. How the hell the thing up on driving mode? I don't know.
You put your phone on driving mode?
Well, that's the way it's now, safe driving mode. I don't know how. Anyways, like I just start because I know time is of essence, and the visual is really important. Unless I want left the meeting and I'll come back. Make I left and see if I could come back here.
All right. Sister Yaya, not exactly a leader in technology efficacy. Where they go on with the trial link, in case you've not been aware, Sister Yaya has been doing a weekly protest at the Regional Education Office, demanding for proper legislative changes to protect the rights of students, specifically black students and their hairstyles. And so we've got Sister Yaya visual and I hope also audio. I would hope that she would stabilize her shot. No, I know the area.
Gosh, I don't know why I not hear me because I didn't hear you.
I didn't hear you now.
All right. I tell you how the ocha pop down. But I try, I can't say I never try. When I come for putting the earpiece where I have no fitting on my phone, then I forget the stabilizer home. Oh my gosh. But to hear me here by the morning, and here this is the third day, United Black Association for Development Educational Foundation, UEF. The protest in front of the Belize District Education Center, Mahogany Street behind Complex, to bring attention to the Ministry of Education specifically, that they have one duty based on the Constitution. Look, on the cast about Zinc Fest. Joshua, you know Zinc Fest that the only media house for the cover is. That's why thank goodness we got one media house.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, okay, sit. Aye.
Thanks, Marisol, for help out the camera works. Guys, I said, well, I have to thank Marisol for make we get one good shot, guys.
The only thing, we have to thank Marisol for that. Good thing Marisol living in the community too. Anyways, so Marisol, if you want to scan, you see that the dark front there? I don't know how long I stood check that, but the dark, the right front of the place. And when the sun starts to hit that the dark, I can't promise you now I still just till 12 o'clock. But anyways, the update we have for now, as I may say, the percent of the Ministry of Education that they have one duty to have one hair policy / hair law when it comes to Belizean students having access to education without being discriminated against because of their hairstyle. I don't know if you're going to say I got
yes, man.
Every 2 weeks I try to get one African hairstyle, right? So my overstyle understanding, remember I tell you, I'm in contact the person who head of the policy for the Ministry of Education. I think I talked to the person the 4th of September, and the person tell me they don't have one policy. Then when XTV interviewed the minister 2 weeks ago, the minister said they have one policy. So I sent one email to the head of the policy unit to the Ministry of Education and tell her, the minister said we don't have a policy, and you tell me they don't have one. So if you don't have one, send it for me. The person answer back the email. And so I just said to media houses, we need to ask the Minister of Education, Francis Fonseca, for surely the media policy as it relates to here, one big chop the pass on and know how it goes.
I know this is what are the phone up because I have a phone.
Oh, the visual done. The visual done.
Awesome. It gone?
Yeah, I know the see.
Yeah, we lost. I'm hearing you, but I'm not seeing the visual.
Yeah, that was the mic.
Probably data, I think.
Marcel said could be data while on another city.
Marcel must have just gonna push the wrong button, man. That's all happened. Marcel
No, Marcel not touch nothing.
Good thing I have you here.
And I have data.
I just the whole moon.
I don't know why the visual. I don't know why the Marcel know about anything better than me.
Yeah, she's the expert, so I don't know why he baffled like that.
But she
it just gone. The video is on. As a matter of fact, it has stopped video, so I know. No, like I stop it and then put it back on.
All right, that worked the last time. So yeah, we got it.
That's for do. No, I don't use technology. Marcel, I will tell you, serve more than one purpose. Anyways, I talked to an attorney and I asked the attorney what the difference between our hair policy.
Oh, there goes the video again.
The visual done again. But not a top the since I know for top video.
You back on?
Yeah, you come back on. I asked my attorney what the difference between our hair policy and our hair law. The attorney said the policy that like what cabinet would have put together, and we never asked them to put it together without we did at the table. And then the legislation one then have to happen legally. So there have to be a study of all the laws in Belize to see what he said done again. To see what he said about as relates to
continue talk, sister, yeah.
So then I have to study the law. I don't know why they go hide the camera, I must admit. Ancestors and the ancestors they show up and make a noise that they always dead me. So even though you can't see me, you can still hear my voice. For say how important it is for Belizeans to become more knowledgeable about processes and then holding those people in power and influence, such as people who are elected or people who are CEO, like chief education officers, chief executive officers, hold them accountable. This is one issue will affect all Belizean students, regardless of how they identify. Because you have to look after the interests of African descendants racialized as black people, or why, well, I show up with African hairstyles, and I had a back for we people. Majority of the cases where I review, the African descendants racialized as black people, there are other people who have been discriminated against, telling them can't come to school because of their hairstyle, and I know a very colonial position for imposed on Belizean students. I
Well, I hear you. I don't know what.
Okay, I'm not sure, but I hear you. That doesn't matter. What else you want to say to me? Anything new, any update? Don't tell me, sir, they have a hard time to read the sign, so I have to go make the sign brighter. And then I don't send the picture for, and then this is the part where get me right. I intentionally write the sign that Creole. So when Belizean people stop, you see their face, right? Then they try figure out. But by the time they get the third word, they realize, oh, that is a Creole. So they start at top again. And
you know what happened there, because they know the writing a Creole. Well, writing a Creole, no problem.
When we take some part, we make up, we work Creole spelling. So we are writing a Creole or read a Creole, but it's just not something we used to. But once they get by the third word, so the sign said ministry, education, where Belize here policy / law, then question mark. So by the time they get to the third word, they figure out, oh, that in a Creole. Then they bust out a laugh. I get a lot of compliments from here, remember?
Yes.
Hairstylist and Malika. Wagner on the left next to that 671 and I give them Malika number because my sister is, and I know a lot of people are really good at African hairstyles, but she do my hair for I have locks. She's in my hair for years. Only she touched my head other than Laura Lightburn. And Laura recommend Malika to me. So I really want to give my respect to my hairstylist, Malika Wagner. Encourage Belizean people every other Wednesday. And I have to create one flyer so people know in advance when that it is, date and time at the Ocha. So you could then take one picture of your natural or your children if you want and put it on a social media profile or cover picture. Or that day you could go to work or go to school or if you're at home, we're here naturally in solidarity with UEF leading this campaign for the Ministry of Education to create a hair policy / law as it relates to hairstyle. So we know school not have to open another academic year. We here said that they deny students education because of hairstyle.
And you know, all of Marisol Minifa do that just use for she high-tech phone and then make
What end up to happen is that Yaya may done the live when I reach, so I just go call. It's still holding. But no worry, most you have to give it credit because I do a thing. You want to better, but you have to try it and see how it happen then. Yeah.
You don't want slight. Accept, respect, effort.
You see, a lot of time. You know that push me out of my comfort zone, this technology in the most. First time IG, now on Zoom. Watch yourself in the more time.
Listen, I didn't have it planned, but now I know we have to increase Marisol job description to involve special Zoom camera operator. Yeah, that what we have to do.
Problems. All right, Marisol, make the camera come back on.
Yeah, but I don't know why they come on.
I don't know why they come on.
Probably sometimes must have a cheap phone.
There's enough job for though. You don't get Marisol. People know where Marisol do. Marisol a whole media house by itself. Real talk. Marisol a whole media house. And you know how that feel like now was. You had an opportunity last week to be the whole media house.
Hey, thank you for thanks for the effort.
I'm going right now, but I don't want to continue to stay loyal to any zinc product, especially XTV. Because all I know that just by good vibration and community support, we're on a turn on the TV or on the radio, we still live on the air. Kind of real struggle is. Real talk. Anyways, boys, thanks. Only the people are saving the people.
100. Thanks, Sisaya. Thanks, Marisol. We go to a break, we come back. All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Clock is ticking, running out of time. You can link us 280-5848. We kind of tried this morning just to kind of put into perspective the experience of the flooding that's affecting presently mostly folks in the River Valley area. One of the most beautiful parts of the country, warmest vibes. It's a whole combination of cultural heritage. Really, like, if you've never done quality time in the River Valley, you don't know what you're missing out. Unfortunately, a part of the regular River Valley experiences, you get these floods, and villagers have become accustomed to just how challenging it is, and they know that periodically they get one. 7-8 years there is an event that causes significant flooding. We know Cookie Tree, Rancho Dolores, Flowers Bank, Burrell Boom. Then it got through it right now. And one of the things that we really want to say is that when you think about climate change and the challenge that it's going to pose for us, is not like what you see in our Hollywood movie, where like just one day you get up and the world comes to an end. Climate change more deceitful than that. It hits you and you don't even know that it's done there. And so something as simple as, well, the frequency with which our folks who experience them kind of flooding events start to go up. And you say, well, that water it come and go. But I try to make the case that essentially what it is just a significant level of disruption, not just convenience and comfort, but financially, primarily. People want to lose value over the next couple of weeks. Livestock, crops, in some cases where people are not able to mitigate, kind of move things to higher level, they might lose equipment. People's vehicles might get hamburged. Students get significantly set back. Multiple ways at the end, the cash register has to go ching, ching, ching when you have one of these events. People brought back in these communities, they take it. Kind of soft like we city folk. They know it come with the turf, right? And they know, guess what? We have to come back. But if this start to happen too frequently, now you talk about one next level survival issue. Because then the ability to bounce back start to go away. That is climate change. That is the real deceitful and diabolical way, the unpredictable nature of the weather and the environment start to just have one crushing impact upon people, their life, their comfort zone, and their survival. And that's why now the challenge where it exists, and enough of the River Valley residents figure out how they could start prepare for that. That the highest level of leadership have to have one consciousness that things they change. And you can't just wait for do the cleanup. You have to create one better level of pre-planning, pre-organizing on the ground. We have to up our game to an unprecedented level within these communities, but also coming out of the leadership for look upon what our game plan moving forward. Again, we don't wish this, but this very well could be one of those things where become regular. This could become regular. And we have an understanding of the impact within these communities. And I may just want each tropical storm. That's the reality where we deal with now. We're going to take a final break of the morning, come back and wrap the show. right, we are out for today. Tomorrow we'll be joined by Brother Noor Mohammed. He'll be hosting tomorrow morning's edition of Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. As always, we give thanks to the team at Creme Radio, Larry G, at XTV, Cliff Lois the Glue, and in the control room, Alexa Belide. We hope you have a great Wednesday, and as always, stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!
Wake up, Billy. Wake up, Belize. 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 Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Belize our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel about it. The vibe we dealing. It's not a solution. Yeah. Love, respect, selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the